favorite astrology loving people. Welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If we're meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you guys can see, we have a lot to talk about, and we're in my office, which is currently high-key a troubling mess. It has been such a busy year for me, big time, and we have a little one joining us, so hopefully she'll be able to sleep through, even though her eyes are wide awake right now. She'll be able to sleep through us just hanging out, chit-chatting, drinking our water, staying hydrated, which are you staying hydrated, and talking astrology. Not just talking astrology, but guys, 2024 is at its end. This has been one of the craziest years, I think, for a lot of us. And 2025 is right around the corner. The door is open and we are all collectively walking through. What I love about the start of this year is the fact that Chiron, which represents that wounded aspect within ourselves, has been transiting through Aries. Now, I know you guys know this because this is not the first time that I've mentioned it on the YouTube channel. I've been like a broken record talking about its significance and its value and the heat that it's been bringing to our lives. Transiting through Aries has been retrograde. And finally, officially, December 29th, it will move direct. Now, why this is so important and why this is so powerful is because for many of you guys, you are finally officially closing out a major cycle of healing in your life. So round of applause to each of you for doing the work. Round of applause for each of you for facing really troublesome things in your lives that you've been needing to take care of. It is nothing against you that those moments and those chunks of your life were difficult, that those lessons needed to be learned. If you take a step back and look and ask anybody, they will tell you that there was a major area of their life that needed serious healing, especially when it comes to boundaries, asserting yourself, being courageous, being confident, or how you view yourself as a whole, like the identity, the ego, the self as a whole that has been challenged. It has forced you to grow up and mature, so to speak. It has forced you to stand up for yourself, to look out for yourself more than you already have. It's forced you to learn from your masculine energy. What does that mean for you? What does that look like for you? And finally, there is healing there and the ability to move forward. Now, anytime when we close out a chapter, there tends to be a moment where the universe challenges us even further and says, are you sure? Are you sure you learned this lesson? Or are you tempted to repeat the past? Are you tempted to continue those same toxic patterns? Are you tempted to show up in the same way? Are you tempted to say yes to the same type of person? Are you tempted to open up to the same energy, especially when it comes to masculine energy? So be on the lookout for those lessons. Also realize that even though the challenge, like the temptation, may be temporary, the results of it will be long-term. Because when Chiron moves from retrograde to direct, we all simultaneously should be moving with this changed pattern, right? We should have lived and learned and be choosing to do better. So even though this temptation will pop itself up and be temporary, make sure that you are not failing the test and falling back into old patterns, old past repeated patterns. I also want to remind you or steer your eyes to the area of Aries. Now, I've been promising you guys this, and I will take full accountability. I've been promising you guys a video on how to look at how the planets, like how to find where the houses, what planets and what energies, like astrology signs, rule each. Big yawns here. What signs rule each house within your astrology chart, because someone here is going to be like, Jess, Aries doesn't rule anything in my chart, and that's not true. I've been promising that for years, and I haven't done it yet. I fully intend to, I fully want to, but I'm thorough. I'm also a perfectionist, and if it's not perfect, I will procrastinate, or I won't. Yeah, I guess this is it. Like, I won't do it because I want it to be perfect. That is a common major theme in my life, because I always want to give 110%. If I can't give 110%, I won't do it. So, or I'll wait until I can give 110%, which can create bigger problems, right? But anyway, I went off on a tangent. I want to draw you guys' eyes to Aries. And Aries does rule something within your chart, even if you don't have planets in your natal chart that are falling in the house of Aries or falling in the sign of Aries. It doesn't mean that Aries doesn't influence your chart in some way. I promise you it does. Just trust me on that. But we're going to draw our eyes to what Aries does rule. And for those of you guys that know, but when you pull up your natal chart, you'll see what house does that rule for you. The reason why is because the North Node and Chiron direct, moving direct this week, is going to draw our attention to the house and the energy that Aries rules. If you don't know what Aries rules, then for the most part, for the gist of it and for the time that we're spending together, I just want to say that Aries naturally connects us to what we want to pursue, what we want to chase, our masculine, and our ability to protect, our ability to be courageous, confident, believe in ourselves, and also go on like a new venture, a new chapter. This is what I love about starting 2025. And this is what makes saying goodbye to 2024 and saying hello to 2025 so much different than all the years that passed. The past years as an astrologer, as I was pulling the charts, there was nothing that was kind of closing out. There might have been a few retrograde planets, but that's not major enough, right? This, or they were still in signs that were kind of closing out like karma, or handling karma and dealing out karma, and so that you can start to begin to work on closing out that karma, those lessons, right? For the first time in a very, very significantly long time, we have Chiron retrograde finally ending, the North Node moving into the sign of Aries, but also Aries is the start of the zodiac season. Like, it's the start of the next chapter. Now, this isn't something that normally happens, because when we typically are ending the new year or ending the old year, it's always Capricorn season. The sun is always transiting through Capricorn, and we'll talk about that shortly. But what really stands out to me is the fact that the North Node is now in Aries, first degree, and Chiron retrograde is in Aries, which was retrograde and now direct. Basically, what this is showing me is, again, there is this new beginning, this fresh chapter that is ripe with the energy of healing and courage and new ventures, like truly new ventures. Aries is the beginning, the start of the zodiac. It leads the rest of the way for the rest of us, right? Charges ahead. Even if it has fear, even if it doesn't know what's ahead, it still has enough passion and purpose and drive and ambition and fight and force and will and masculine energy that it wants to leap into the unknown. And not only is this leap happening into a new venture, and I really want to challenge you guys to lean into what this might look like for you, and we'll talk about that shortly. Not only do you have the opportunity to lean and like leap into this new venture, but you are starting this new chapter healed. This doesn't mean that that there's not parts of your life or parts of your heart that aren't hurting or tired. That may very well be the case for so many of you guys, because the level of closing out like this karmic cycle and the trauma that stemmed from this place that Chiron was working to heal. It's literally childhood wounds, childhood trauma, baggage, and I'm a little like all over the place. I'm not organizing my thinking. I'm not taking notes. I'm just talking to you guys. So this is just kind of like how I am. But the childhood wounds, the baggage, the emotional stuff that you've been carrying, that baggage, it doesn't come without a price. The price and the gift is that, for if you choose, you could use that pain, you could use that lesson, you can use your story to help to heal others. And this is something else that you can share with the world. It doesn't need to be a job, a career. It can be a part of your purpose, and your purpose looks like something that you just generously sprinkle into the hands, the palms, and the hearts of people that you meet as you journey along your path here in life. What does that look like? And what does that mean? That means that for a lot of you guys, yes, you can turn what you've learned from the past few years or from the past few months of Chiron being retrograde. You can take that and turn it into a passion project or a part of your purpose, where you're sharing that with your career consistently or on a schedule, or you have a plan for your life with it. Or it can be something that you sprinkle in spontaneously, randomly, with people that you meet along the way. If you see someone suffering and you identify with them, you relate to them, this is that part of you that courageously reaches out when normally you're shy and you're just like, oh, I don't want to, overstep. I don't want to put myself on anybody. But Aries shows you that this is the part that you can be the person who initiates conversation when you see someone suffering in the way that you have, or you can put yourself in a place where others who have the same similar pain and trauma, such as you can reach out to them and help in some way. And that can be a part of your purpose. It doesn't need to mean that you're making money off of it. Some of you guys may incorporate that, especially if you're life coaching, energy working, healing, working on relationships. Think working to help people connect in relationships and stuff, or any type of small communities. Of course, you're more than welcome by the angels and your guides and your ancestors and the divine to incorporate your lessons into your work. But all of us can absolutely bring the space. We can be generous with what we learned and being compassionate and sprinkling, little tidbits that help others that have gone through what you have gone through the last few months, but also years of your life. Now, having said that, I do believe that for many of you guys, I want to encourage you, before I talk about the rest of the chart, I want to encourage you that there is the opportunity for a new beginning here of some sort. This will look like something that may have hindered you and held you back in some way. Meaning, for a lot of you guys, mentally, it was what you mentally accepted, or the way that you felt like you had to show up in this way, that you continue to show up, that's why your experience looked like fill in the blank. But there's an opportunity, a door that is opening here when it comes to your path, your purpose. It could be a new trip, it could be a new job, it could be a new podcast, it could be something that you are launching, right? A brand new thing that you are launching for yourself that you feel called to, and maybe a little scared. It may require a lot of courage and bravery and confidence, but you're gonna do it. I'm saying that you're gonna do it because I'm speaking it over you. You are ready, you are prepared. Even if you're not prepared, you will figure it out. It will be successful, it will be an amazing venture. It will bring you luck, it will bring abundance, it will bring you happiness and joy. I say that with conviction because I believe it. I say it with conviction because I see it within the astrology charts, and I say it with conviction a third time because I was shuffling for Behati Love Notes, which is my private exclusive group of people that I shuffle for, and it came up in their reading of how lucky this new venture is, this new chapter is, and I knew that it wasn't just for them, it was also for the collective and for myself. So that is why I'm sharing that, and that's why I'm saying it with conviction. Also, be very careful of being negative. Be very careful of being pessimistic. Be very careful of, again, falling back in those past patterns of oh no, this can't work for me, imposter syndrome, or procrastination, or whatever the case is. No, buckle down and let's get this party started with whatever this is, this new venture. If you don't know what this is, what this looks like for you, I challenge you to sit down at your altar, your meditative place, or a prayer spot while you're driving in your car, gonna go pick up coffee. If you have 3 minutes, you have enough time to sit down with your angels and your guides and ask them, listen, what is the venture that I should be taking in my life? What does that look like for me? Just said it. And I just want to ask you, does it include me? And if it does include me, what are the next steps? Give me the plan to make this happen, right? The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the new moon. Speaking of new chapters, uncharted territory, setting intention, and starting the new year with a bang in a good way, for the most part, from setting intention, right? Because also there's a lot of tension in the skies that we don't need to talk about that right now. But the new moon happening in the sign of Capricorn, and that's going to be December 30th at 5:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right before we say goodbye to 2024. Now, what I love about the new moon in Capricorn, its energy, is the fact that Capricorn energy is always very serious. It's very focused on the long haul. It does not settle for less typically, unless it has issues with self-esteem and self-worth and boundaries, which you don't have that right now. I'm speaking that into existence as well. You've addressed that, you've handled that. It wants to provide, protect, build something that lasts forever. Something that will last you a lifetime, something that is worth committing yourself to. I am being kind of guided right now to pause and remember a message that came through that I was going to write down in my journal, in my notebook, but I got distracted. Spirit said very clearly, and I'll make another video about this in longer version and break it down a little further. Spirit said, very specific, that the choices that you've made in the past were not choices that the divine would have chosen for you. And with this new healing chapter, with saying goodbye to the past and starting over fresh into the new year, realize that you don't have to bring the past with you, that your choices that you've made reflected inner wounds, inner child healing that you were called and need to do, but it doesn't reflect what the divine has for you. So if you're walking into 2025 and you're missing faith, if you lost faith in the divine and with what the universe can provide and what you can manifest, remember that the divine wouldn't have chose that for you, that you had free will. And you, with Chiron retrograde, you felt called, you were following the steps, you were following the astrological energies to work through the trauma that was leading you to the choices that you were making. Now that you've healed through that, it's safe and you are encouraged to open your heart and open yourself to what the divine has in store for you. That is what your life will look like ultimately, and it will be permanent, and it will be lasting, and it will be secure, and it will protect you. This is what, and the divine, last thing, because I just feel it so strongly in my spirit, the divine will show itself in all things good and right, like all things good and righteous, and things that are evil or malicious or just not good. It's not that the divine is not in that, but the divine is with you as you're walking in it, like while you're walking through it. So if you're ever in moments where you feel challenged, or it's evil, or if it's malicious, or it's not of the divine, it's not blessed, you don't have to feel scared regardless. Do know that you're being protected. Do know that you're being walked through. For those of you guys that are suffering and challenged with mental and emotional challenges right now, I've been seeing it within the chart. Neptune, Saturn really have been challenging a lot of people with their mental and emotional well-being. Also, their ability to envision and manifest and like attract into their lives. Also boundaries, also hope, also their spirituality has been challenged. A lot of you guys are like juggling, maybe juggling is not the right word, but it's like very, not selective, but like you have a few different spiritual beliefs and practices that you've been kind of juggling through. I'm going to use the word juggling. Like you've been feeling it. It doesn't stay in your hand for too long. It kind of is moving, you know, kind of like a circus. That's good for you to explore, but you're going to find what makes sense for you, what resonates as true for you. And I think that for many of you guys, you will find that it doesn't come with a label. It just is a vibe. It's just an energy. So keep your eyes and your ears and your spirit open for that. Okay. But that's something that's going to come through. Even though Capricorn, I know the rest of the world, you guys, in astrology realms, anybody who's making a video about astrology right now, they're going to be talking about how Capricorn rules business and career. Yes. Okay, fine. If we wanted to stay superficial, then yes, fine. You have a new beginning, a new chapter that you can set and manifest when it comes to that. But let's go deeper than that. And let's also incorporate our intuitive energies, and let's not follow the crowd. Let's follow the divine. Let's follow God's plan for our lives. Let's not be broken records. Let's not repeat the same thing like we're all parrots. You know, pardon my French for kind of being a little sarcastic and snippy and sounding cold. But truthfully, Capricorn energy goes deeper than that. It really does. So let's lean into all of what it is that I just said. Because I don't want to repeat myself. Broken record. Speaking of parrots, right? No, I'm not trying to repeat what others are saying. I'm not trying to repeat what I have been saying. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about, December 31st, the last final moments of 2024. Mercury, the planet that rules communication, is going to be in a beautiful trine with Chiron, like in Aries, now direct. This is going to be, you guys can use this however you want to use it, but I'm going to encourage you to use it to manifest, use it to work your magic, bigger perspective, and a final affirmation for 2024, like a final blessing for 2024 and an affirmation for 2025. Why? Because Mercury does not, it gets a reputation when it comes to communication, but it doesn't have, in my opinion, a strong enough reputation when it comes to manifestation and working your magic, processing, analyzing information, and wielding your magic wand, so to speak. Mercury is a very powerful planet. It goes bigger and deeper than just what we say and text messages that we may or may not receive. Mercury transiting through Sagittarius has been asking so many of us to think bigger picture and to tap into philosophy and wisdom and spirit, our spiritual understanding of things, and to wield that magic wand so that we can work its magic in our lives. And now that Chiron is direct, and now that Mercury is going to contact Chiron in this beautiful trine, what we have is these energies aligning to start this new chapter that is healed, that is progressive, that is nurturing and soft and supportive of where we stand now. Last thing I'll say, and I'll let you guys go, invite the divine into your life. Try to, if you're going to do anything and set an intention for anything, set intention to be committed to the divine and the divine's plan for your life and your rituals and routines that will keep you spiritually pure, that will keep your heart light and your energy light, that will keep you spiritually protected, that will enforce and encourage your intuition and encourage your gifts, and also to give you peace of mind, because that is the greatest wealth. Definitely. Always has been, but now more than ever. And if you just turn on the news, you will see exactly what it is I'm talking about. How important it is to spiritually arm and protect yourself, but also to invite the divine into your life. Okay? So that is that for now. I do have a second YouTube channel that is Queen Bee Homestead Co. I'm going to link it down below. I've been sharing recipes, talking to you guys about recipes and food and things that we've got going on. I've shared already my labor and delivery story. I've got way more content that's coming. I almost have 1,000 subscribers on there, which is so cool, so dope. So I want to encourage you guys to follow me there, lifestyle stuff. Here we talk about spirituality, astrology, but that's going to be more over there. It's going to be more lifestyle. So I encourage you guys to follow me there. Until then, if you would love more intimate readings, Behati Love Notes is there for you. I will link that down below, as well as a coupon code for you to sign up and subscribe and save some money on that membership. Basically, it's me just shuffling and pulling for that small collective throughout the year. And what better gift to give to yourself than the confirmation affirmation that many of you guys are picking up on, but I will be seconding that for you, your spiritual BFF in your corner, right? Shuffling and pulling the cards for you consistently through 2025. Until then, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and vibing with me in 2024, and I will see you in the new year. Bye.